Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So there is enough craziness going on in the world. I'm sure that somewhere there is someone talking about the closures at Disney World and all that, but I'm going to try to be an island away from all the craziness that's going on right now, and we're just gonna stay with normal old Disney stuff like we always do. So today I am talking about some of the things that I did as a Jungle Cruise skipper that were not necessarily in the job description. Like I have mentioned before, I have a video about what you actually have to do if you're a Jungle Cruise skipper, what the training process is like, all that good stuff, and what the actual job is like. So if you're interested in any of that, I will link those videos down there and up in the corner for you. So if you want to know any about that, then those are there. And for the kind of all other duties as assigned part of it, that's what I'm talking about today. A couple of things that you may not have expected that you would be doing if you were working at the Jungle Cruise. So the first two that I'm going to mention are not Jungle Cruise specific. They are things that happen to lots of attractions cast members and lots of cast members in general if you are working during a very busy time of year. Sorry, I have gum in my mouth. I'm new here. Just a second. Where was I? Yes. A couple of things that all cast members basically are going to be up for grabs when they need these positions filled, and those two things are stroller parking and PAC, which PAC is PAC. I think it's Parade Audience Control. I think that's what it stands for. It's the people who, they used to dress in the penguin suits, which I have inserted the picture before of what I looked like after a PAC shift. I'll insert it again. This was an 11-hour day, and I was looking super fresh at that point. It was a long day, but these things only happen, like I said, at really peak times of the year. Spring break, 4th of July week, those kinds of times. So I was one of the people who got pulled. You're not necessarily going to be one of the people who gets pulled. A lot of times it's probably going to be the college program people, because I've mentioned before, lowest on the totem pole. So they're the ones who are going to get grabbed and taken for other positions that need to be filled. That being said, stroller parking and PAC shifts kind of go together, and neither one of them suck. I liked doing both of them. It was a chance to do something a little bit different. It is monotonous, I will say that. Stroller parking is exactly what it sounds like. You know, the corrals outside of specific attractions and in specific areas where all of the strollers get stuck and parked. That is your job, to kind of monitor that and keep everything organized, to help people who are trying to get into lines places. Sun just came out, and that's some great lighting. Anyway. Y'all are here to listen to me talk, not look at me, I guess, right? So your job is to just keep everything kind of organized and help people out when they are looking for places. You know, you can give directions still and help people that way. But mainly, you're going to be, hi guys, just park your stroller right over here, and they'll park it, and then you scoot them down to kind of keep everything consolidated. And you are probably going to have some guests who don't like the fact that you move their stroller. It's unfortunate, but you kind of got to. It's just one of the things that, I mean, as people come and take their strollers, there's going to be giant gaps, and you need to kind of keep moving things down so that the ones that have been there the longest are farthest away, and the newer ones get parked closer, just to keep everything orderly. That's just the nature of the beast. That's just kind of what you have to do. And that being said, some strollers are easier to move than others. The Disney strollers that people can rent from Disney World are the easiest to move. You don't even really have to unlock them. They just kind of slide really easily. But when people come in with these Cadillac strollers that I felt like I needed multiple college degrees to figure out how to use, really intense locking mechanisms on those wheels, and some of them were heavy. I mean, real heavy. Just something to be aware of if you are a college program specific skipper. You may get called to do some stroller parking shifts, probably in Adventureland or Liberty Square, because that's where you are, that's your home land, and that's where I did my stroller parking shifts, was in Liberty Square, which is the surface of the sun. There are no trees, there is no shade. The Charlotte parking area is right outside Columbia Harbor House, so you get to listen to the bell all day, and the person standing out there as the greeter at Columbia Harbor House. But you also get to kind of see some of the stuff going on in that area of the park. So when the parade comes by, you have a front row seat for that, because you are working the parade control at that point, which means your job is to stand along the paths that get taped off for when the parade comes through and keep people moving. You know, you just stay to the right guys, stay in this lane and keep moving. Don't let people stop. Don't let people start loitering and getting closer and closer to the parade route. You can't have people doing that. The parade control is doing the afternoon parade, and then at night you get to do the evening parade and the fireworks show, which means you stand in the hub. You're spaced out, like, it felt like every 6 or 10 feet was another cast member, and you all have the little lightsabers, and you're just like waving people along. Stay to the right, guys, keep moving, keep it moving, don't stop, because those high traffic areas, people are going to want to stop right in front of the castle. They want to take their pictures, they want to stop and video right there. And yeah, it would be a really great spot to video, but we can't have people stopping like right in the middle of pathways. There has to be an egress at all times. So that's what those costume cast members are there for. Please don't get mad at them. They're just doing their job. And if you are a cast member from another area that is getting to work one of these pack shifts, then it's kind of a fun thing, because, you know, normally as a skipper, when, at the time it was wishes, but when the fireworks happen, you're like, oh, the fireworks are happening. And part of you is like, oh, that's sad, I would like to see the fireworks. But the other part is kind of frankly annoyed, because depending on the boat that you are on at the time, guests can't hear you if people are doing the whole, oh, the fireworks are going, there's not going to be long lines, let's go get on a ride. And they come to the Jungle Cruise, it's really, really hard to talk over the fireworks, and so that kind of stinks. But when you are working a parade control shift, you don't have that problem. You just get to be like, yay, it's fireworks, and you get to watch them, and you get to have fun, and you get to interact with different kinds of guests. You know, it's not just Jungle Cruise guests, it's guests from everywhere, and they ask you questions about other stuff that's not Jungle Cruise specific. So you get to have a little bit of a different experience without having to actually like cross train and work at a different attraction or anything like that. It's just something fun that can kind of break up the monotony of working at one attraction. My other kind of additional duty that Jungle Cruise skippers will sometimes be called upon to participate in is a pirates evac. And you don't really think about the fact that that's going to be a thing until it's a thing. And so sometimes these rides go down. That's just the nature of having attractions that are almost 50 years old. 50 years next year, woo! Anyone else going, trying to, I want to go to the 50th anniversary so bad, but anyway. Sometimes things happen, and you know, sometimes it's mechanical, sometimes it's intentional. We did have a situation where some people were intentionally shutting down pirates. Different story for a different day. A coordinator at the Jungle Cruise would come and grab a few people who were on land rotations, and they would say, come with me. And the first time it happens, you're like, oh my goodness, what has happened? And you just follow, and you're walking backstage behind Pirates of the Caribbean, and they station you every few feet, once again, you know, every like 6 or 10 feet. And you stand there to guide guests as they are being evacuated off of the ride. They come out a back door, and to keep out of the backstage areas as much as possible and to limit the amount of time that they spend backstage, that's what the other cast members are there for, is to kind of stand there and direct people, you know, just like keep walking around this way, guys, just keep going this way. And they have the shortest path possible to get people off the ride, out the emergency exits, and back into the actual onstage areas of the park. But that is something that you may or may not have to do. You may get called over by a Pirates cast member. They may come over, or they may just call to the coordinators through the radio, and you may get, I need 5 of you to come with me to Pirates, and you know what that means, and you just go and you help to evacuate guests, and you answer questions, and sometimes you hand out fast passes if they're doing the actual paper, like guest recovery kinds of things. Sometimes they will hand out a fast pass for people to use on something else. But that's just another job that you can in fact have to do as a Jungle Cruise skipper that is really not Jungle Cruise related. So that's it. That is it for today with my highly over and now underexposed videos. Hopefully everyone is doing all right. If you have any questions about Disney, if you are planning a trip for next year and you just want to talk about it because it's super exciting, let me know down there. If you have any questions about the Disney College program, make sure that you are asking those down there as well, and I always would like to get back to you on that. And I think that's it. So be safe, be well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.